All right, today we're going over extreme, or what some people like to call crash dieting for fat loss, and why it's not only effective, it's actually the way to go.
Effective and the way to go. For who? Okay, wait, who's he talking to?
Trust me, like, it's been tough. Really though, it's so nuts. Coming from a kid that wanted to end it, didn't know, at so young, having these thoughts quite sickening to me.
Let's get after it. So I'm sure you've heard other fitness YouTubers say, or maybe you were sitting at home in your underwear eating lean pockets and Dr. Oz told you no matter what you do, don't crash diet because you'll blow right back up. And that statement definitely has some merit to it. I think back to my years of working with competitors, figure, fitness, bodybuilding. Every time I would sit down with one of them for the very...
Don't do nothing that's not sustainable. If you can't continue it, why start it? It's very hard to get quick results for a long-term goal. You know when they say easy come, easy go? Well, easy loss, easy fat. No.
First time, for the first 30 minutes, I would continually ask them, are you sure you want to do this? Because this is going to completely mess you up. Not physically. Anybody who said that they messed up their thyroid from a hardcore diet is usually full of shit. In reality, what happened is they unleashed their inner fat kid, and they're having a hell of a time shoving that chubby bastard back into Pandora's box. I'm talking mentally, because you're going to get to the leanest point you've ever been in your entire life. You're walking around on stage in basically dental floss, and they're going to take pictures of you for you to take home to remind yourself that you'll never look like that again.
So he's talking about the athletes. He's not talking about the people that have eating disorders. He's not talking about people that have a bad association with food. He's not talking about those people. Like, he's talking about crash dieting for athletes, right? Athletes, yeah. Yeah. And that's all, yeah.
Now you got a constant reminder on your fridge that you're a fat mess and any progress you make is insignificant. But here's the truth. You can't get extraordinary results by putting in an ordinary amount of effort. You got to tread into the obsessive and slightly unhealthy waters if you want to make a change that people can't help but to notice. Unless your starting point is you're a contestant on that show, My 600-Pound Life, then yeah, you're going to make progress by simply getting your enabling mom to stop feeding you cheeseburgers all day. Because you know what happens when you go on a normal diet with just a slight deficit? Practically nothing, because you're going to chip away at that deficit little by little with random calories that come throughout your day, or you're going to cheat some...
The chipping away, right? Slow, steady, step-by-step sustainability. Slow, steady, step-by-step sustainability. Changing your lifestyle, and you're changing your habits, and you're changing your actions, and you're changing your thoughts, and you're changing your association with certain foods, certain reactions to certain things which triggered off certain cravings. You're changing, and it's a slow process. So who are we talking about? Are we talking about athletes, or are we talking about people that's not even been to the gym, that don't even like the gym? You know, who are we talking about?
So much that deficit's going to disappear, and you've seen this a lot throughout the gym. I mean, look around at the people that basically look like they made no progress year in and year out. I mean, if you squint hard enough, it might look like they're making progress, but they're not, because that's one of the hardest things to do. Make a diet that's difficult enough that somebody will see progress relatively quickly so they don't get frustrated, but not too difficult that one day they just break and start deep throating churros.
Anything new or different or uncomfortable will be difficult, but you are prescribing something that's even more difficult than a slow, steady, sustainable system. So what I don't get it. Like, you're prescribing something way harder with more bounce back potential. Like, the results that you get are more than likely going to reverse faster. So what are we doing? Why are we doing it? This is for athletes, right?
So the question is, how do you formulate a diet that's going to be hard enough to get your results, but not to the point you're going to lose your shit? All right, first we need to change the way you look at dieting, because most coaches will say, all right, we're doing a 16-week recomposition plan because they're afraid to scare you away with the word diet, but it's a fucking diet. And 16, 12, or 10 weeks, that's a marathon. And the truth is, diets are better done as sprints. So reframe the way you think about it and take care of your current day. and win the week. Because thinking anything beyond a week, 99% of people will be like, fuck it, take my foot now. And every week you need to install a light at the end of that dieting tunnel from hell by implementing a refeed meal. You'll be amazed at how much harder you can push yourself and how much more you're willing to suffer knowing that you have a scheduled time you're going to be able to relax.
Suffer. We're going to suffer for a better life. Sacrifice. You know, there is going to be some level of sacrifice. But there shouldn't be no suffer. You know, there are going to be times you're going to be arguing with yourself, right? But then this where the change in thought processes, and you know, you moving away from the old you where, look, I got a craving, I'm hungry, let me eat this. No. Let me eat something, but let me substitute. Like, even if you go over your calories, but the thing that you went over your calories with, you substitute it for a less calorie dense alternative. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's these little rewards, these step-by-step little rewards, and you can't do it in a sprint. You can't go from eating cake or binging on a Saturday and Sunday every day to just being super clean. If you binge every Saturday and Sunday, then you know you're gonna say to yourself, okay, you gotta say to your client, or you say to your people, you know what? If traditionally you binge Saturday and Sunday, do one a week, then do half of the one now. Do you know what I mean? So 1 week you take off, you don't binge on the Saturday, and then the following week, okay, you can only binge up to this time. So it's like you're slowly taking it away.
And enjoy yourself every week. Which brings me to a fairly widespread misconception of how low you should push your calories. And I'm sure even saying that, a number popped in your head and you're like, not going below that or I'll lose muscle. But when people think or say that out loud, they rarely factor in where their calories are coming from. Here's an extreme scenario for you, and I'll use clean numbers because I went to public school. So person number 1 is on a 2,000 calorie diet, which puts them in a decent deficit, and 35% of their calories is coming from protein. So they're getting 175 grams per day. Now, person number 2 is going to get less calories than they recommend giving a 12-year-old girl. Now, I don't recommend this. This is just to prove a point, but they're going to get 1,000 calories, and 80% of those is coming from protein. So they're going to get 200 grams of protein per day. So the question is, who would you bet your wife on? The one that has less protein and more calories coming from what I would consider energy sources, or the one that's basically all protein? I would hope for your wife's butthole's sake, you bet on the 80% protein. And again, I'm not advocating you get anywhere near that 80% because your kidneys would not appreciate that, but hopefully that opens your eyes and makes you realize that maybe I can push myself a little bit harder or drop my calories a little bit more and see what happens. And don't take my word for it. You're the one that's willing to bet buttholes on it. The way these weekly diet sprints work is after you reach the weight or the look you want, you got to come up with a maintenance diet you actually enjoy. And I think that's why crash diets get such a bad rap, is because nobody teaches you how to get off of them. Probably why so many of those medical weight loss clinic clients completely rebound, which I don't blame them. Imagine going from having somebody just grab your love handles and threaten you every week to no accountability whatsoever. I'd be at the McDonald's drive-thru line pleading with the guy at the window, just be my accountability buddy. I need help. As simple as it sounds, to maintain the look you've got that you push so hard to get, all you gotta do is find your new maintenance level of calories based upon your new body weight and eat slightly below that, because you still want to factor in having that refeed meal once a week. And I think this is where people make the biggest mistake. They stop having that refeed meal once a week and they try to add something in every single day.
Once you've starved yourself, that refeed could potentially trigger off a whole binge week. Yeah, so the refeed triggered off a binge week. Like, again, manipulating calories is one thing. So having low-ish calories and then for a couple of days and then increasing them and low and then increasing them. But at the end of the week, you hit a certain number, that's more manageable. You know, and you know, who are we talking about here? Are we talking about athletes? Are we talking about beginners? Are we talking about obese? Are we talking about overweight? Are we talking about slightly chubby? Are we talking about skinny fat? Like, he's not even talking about health and energy. He doesn't care about people's energy, cognitive, like, he doesn't.
To break it to you, but your metabolism didn't magically change and now it runs better off of sausage McGriddles. It's okay. I lie to myself too sometimes. So it's hard to give a general, just go do this, because I have no idea where everybody's at in their life. You could be at a really low place. You could be sitting at home watching this, eating a pound of gummy worms. But in my experience, most people have one or a mixture of these 3 problems. Either they don't eat enough protein, they're eating too many calories, or they justify having too many carbs. So after this video, put down the gummy worms, take a look in the mirror, and figure your shit out. So if you end up making some changes to push your diet even harder and you find pretty damn hungry, that's okay. That's your body telling you that this sucks and it's working.
You know, all I can say is it's easily said than done once you've never been on the other side. If you've never been overweight, obese, if you've never had an eating disorder, if you're struggling with mental illnesses, there's so many different factors to factor in. That's why it is a marathon and never a sprint, you know, and you got to factor in all of this crash diet around life. You could have kids, you're up early and you sleep late, you're tired, you haven't got enough energy because you haven't eaten enough. Like, what about life? What about life? Are we talking about the unemployed? Are we talking about the young people? Are we talking about the ones that have no responsibility? Again, I don't know who we're talking about. I don't know who this video is for. I'm not too sure. I'm not sure of it at all. I'm not sure. If he would have specified and said this is for athletes, I get it. But this is such a general video. Like, I don't know if he's talking about people that want to lose weight, that need to lose weight, that have never lost weight. Like, I don't get it. But then he keeps referring to people that are, you know, overweight and eating gummy worms and all this other stuff. And I love how the people that have never been overweight or obese, the way that they talk about people that are overweight and obese, they just feel like people are just sitting down and stuffing faces. It's just not like that. It's not like that. You know, it's so different. They don't know what, you know, chemical reaction goes off in your head for you to want to binge. They don't know these feelings. You know, they don't get it, and they never will. But guess what? I get it, and there's a couple others on YouTube that do get it, that do understand, that will look at this and believe, like, that will look at this and they're scared because this person has over 600,000 followers. Now, if this is your entry point to weight loss and you want to lose weight and you're feeling motivated and you listen to this guy, you're thinking, oh, for me to do this, I need to crash diet. You're going to click off and that's it. You're not even going to want to try to embark on your journey of weight loss. And that could have been the time that you needed to hear some good advice. Guys, that's not good advice. Do not take this advice. It is a marathon, right? And it's not only a marathon of the body, it's a marathon of the mind. You're trying to remap your brain so you can get the body that you want, and it takes time. There's going to be mistakes. There's going to be, you know, rebounds. There's going to be accidents. There's going to be so much things along your journey. It's a journey. No journey runs smooth. There's going to be potholes. There's going to be something in the road. There's going to be traffic. You know, and you need to be ready for this stuff. You need to be ready for this stuff. And I'm there to make sure you're ready for this stuff. If there's anything you want to know, leave a comment down below. Hit me on my socials. If you like this video and you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe. Please subscribe. Alright? Hit the like button. Anyway, I'm signing off. It's your boy, Ricky Ricardo. Don't listen to this guy. He's not unrestricted. I'm unrestricted. Showing you love, light, growth, all of that stuff. Anyway, I'm out. Boom.
Trust me, like, it's been tough. Really though, it's so nuts. Coming from a kid that wanted to end it, feeling low, at so young. Having these thoughts quite sickening to mention. Nearly broke, but rose up. Durable to the shock like suspension. Let me insert like a tendon. But first, can I get your attention? Show a hands in this place for attendance.